I think it's going to take some time. I mean, you can even see with the rosters how it's been kind of blended this week, even with the coaching staff. So I know Sonny was all over Jay Verdi for his inaccurate passing today. So there's a little comfort level and chemistry there, but it takes time. We're getting to know them; they're getting to know me and our group. So I do think it takes a little bit of time. Yeah,
Try to diagnose that?
for me, it's not fitting an identity. I think we might look like that on Friday, but I think it's consistency within that identity. What you don't want to have happen is we look like that one night and then the next night we're slow. I think when a team starts playing well, you see that night in and night out, and that's going to be our goal. Even the preseason, we flirted with it. We looked like it at times, and other times we didn't. So certainly a work in progress.
Like you kind of went back to that combination with Soderblom, Rasmussen, and Sundqvist today. What do you like about the three of them together?
Size, they work, they communicate well. We want to. There's times that I think that line can possess the puck, kind of win the field position battle, if you will, and have some extended zone time. And they've shown that in practice. They look very hard to play against. So it's something we'll probably look at on Friday.
What do you look for in a penalty killing forward, and do you feel like you have a lot of options there?
We do, and that's something we're still working through there. Obviously, we repped the 6 guys today, and next time we're working on it, we'll probably interchange some guys on that. But it's same thing, skating. We're going to be an aggressive penalty kill. We're going to be a fast penalty kill. We're hopefully going to make some mistakes moving forward. I don't foresee our penalty kill sitting back. So it's still a work in progress. There's a lot to it. Special teams usually is something that takes a little more time to come around. But we've given a lot of attention through the preseason, and obviously you saw in practice today.
Big picture, teams. A lot of teams are teams are judged by whether or not they make the playoffs. But what does a successful season look like for you this
That's
year?
a great question. I've had that a few times this off season. A successful season would look like us improving our team defense, keeping it out of our net, and playing meaningful, significant games late in the season. Not far off from where these guys were in the middle of last year. We'd like to extend that later in the year.
You mentioned Ventura as someone who has stood out to you in camp and for the preseason. Can you speak to how he elevates the team, not just in a game, but at practices as well?
Well, that's exactly what it is. He elevates practice. He only knows hard. And I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but from day one, when he's practicing, they're hard reps, they're game-like reps. I probably think it's human nature at times to lay off an opponent, or a teammate in a rep, but he doesn't. Everyone's fair game, and I think you have to have that culture. I remember running somewhere in Traverse City, and the guy looked back like surprised, and we rewarded that. Like, no, this is how we want it to be and how it looks. So he just knows hard. He practices hard. He practices heavy, and I think it brings everyone else in the fight during practice.
One of the things about good teams is knowing how to win, and you certainly had that a lot in spades in Tampa. How do you instill that? How do you get a team to that point that they know how to win close games? They know how to.
Well, we got to put ourselves in that position a lot, and I think you learn from it. We had to go through in Tampa, learning how to win tight games, and to me, it's when you get in those tight moments, it's executing, but again, it's valuing what's important. Kind of a game management type thing. An example in the exhibition, we go into Washington, we play a great game. We're 2-2 with 8 minutes left, and we start turning the puck over. And it led right to the penalty into the power play. We just didn't manage that game. We have that situation again. I'm hoping we can manage that correctly, execute correctly, and just have some confidence in those situations. So first, we need to get in those situations, and then secondly, we need to execute those situations.
Derek, there, and let's face it, there are people whispering, mentioning playoffs, but you don't like to even, it seems like you even don't want to go there or approach that. What, I mean, why just take steps or something to that, or what? I mean,
Well, I hope there's optimism. We expect to be better, and we expect some of our young players to take a natural progression. We obviously signed some players that are fitting in nicely here. We expect to be better. I don't mean to be pessimistic on the word playoffs. I think it's probably more of a credit to the Eastern Conference. 100 points was the playoffs last year. I don't recall. You guys help me out. When the last time the Red Wings made the playoffs, I think it was 82, 83 points. You guys recall? I don't remember.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's some years look differently. But the Eastern Conference, you're talking 100-point teams. We want to improve with our defense. We want to keep the puck out of our nets. We want to be a much better team 5-on-5. We want to improve our special teams. If that happens, I'm hoping results will take care of itself, and then hopefully the results lead to putting us in that position I talked about. Eileen is just playing meaningful games as late in the season as possible. If it gets to that point, like I'm a coach, so I want to win right now. I want to win every day. That's how we're going to approach it as a coaching staff. That's what we're going to preach. But right now it's game 1 Friday. Let's see what we look like and go from there.
Last one for me. First, no pop quizzes, please. Would be, how much does it help to have a guy like Steve Eisman who's sitting up where we said yesterday watching practice, just getting feedback from him on even something as mundane as a practice?
Well, it's experience. Steve's literally seen it all. But you also have to look at Steve as the manager. He went through this in Tampa and was extremely patient with it. So it's trust from a coach into a management team that has experienced this before. Everyone thinks of Tampa where they are now, but there was a lot of high picks and a lot of bad seasons on the front end of that led to where they are. And I think of all the qualities Steve has, to me, is he has patience in being a manager, and that's not easy to do sometimes. So yeah, of course it's valuable to have him. Not only valuable to have him around, I love some of the old guard that's always around. Guys that have won Stanley Cups. I think those guys have gotten to the top a lot. So I think it's valuable not only Steve, but a lot of our management team around.
What thoughts went through your head last night watching your old team?
Yeah, and I was just like anyone else, a fan. Like, obviously I'm rooting for them. You still have relationships, a lot of rooting for individuals. You build those relationships, you build that trust in those guys and want them to have success. So, it's just like anyone else. I was excited to see hockey again. I was just as intrigued with the late game last night. It kept me up too late. But yeah, obviously I root for them. I want them to do well, but I'm rooting for a lot of those individuals to do well also.
Derek, how much do you glean just from your years there? And working with Coop too. It's got to be a valuable tool or experience there.
Yeah, well, obviously the winning was special, but for me it was the process of winning that's special. We were rock bottom. We got swept in the first round. We got smoked, and we could have went one of two ways there. And as a coaching staff, we dug in. We worked really hard that summer and that off season, and we accomplished some things within our structure. But I think we did a better job of holding the group accountable and not budging on it. And obviously the success followed. So for me, it was just a learning experience and growth. I think experience is real. I remember being young and probably didn't value experience until I actually had the experience. And then you understand it. When people talk about hiring experience and they lean on people from experienced positions, I think it's a real thing.
Is that important for you as far as watching as a fan for perspective? Like, obviously you're in and out of everything all the time. Is it nice and perspective-wise to sit back and just watch and enjoy hockey?
Yeah, no, I'm a hockey fan like anyone else. I get excited about players. I get excited about structure and teams. And it's a learning process. You're watching why is Team A having success, why is Team B having success. I watch, very invested when I watch.
Have you settled on who's going to start in net on Friday?
Nope. We've talked a lot about it this week. That'll be something we'll communicate with both those guys. So both guys will get the net one game this weekend. We just haven't decided who is going to get the net on Friday.
Derek, the last time the Red Wings made the playoffs, they had 92 points.
92 points. There you go.
And I'm kind of curious, what's changed? Is it the league is just so close now? And so
No, I
tight?
mean, I think parity. I just think maybe a cycle of the Eastern Conference. I don't think 100 points. What the West last year? Someone in the West got in.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't 100
obviously,
points.
it wasn't 100 points. So, I mean, 92 points. 8 points is a lot of points in the National Hockey League to 100. So, but we'll see where that. It might not be 100 this year. Teams with parity, you're just going to look different every year. In the salary cap era, you lose a piece or two. It's a reality of it. So, we will have some. When we close that door, we talk as coaches. We're going to have some goals, and there's some numbers we're going to want to reach and try to approach. But it's going to sound really cliche-ish, and we might even roll our eyes when I say process again. But it is going to be about our process and how we look. We put a lot into it. You've seen every day how we're trying to build on some things, and then we get our first chance to do it for real on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.